Ladies, let me tell you something. Now, you may not know this, but there are things that makes you very unattractive as a woman, especially if you're trying to be this feminine woman, you want to have this feminine energy, you're trying to be a high-value woman. But there are things that you do that you're not aware of that makes you really unattractive, that makes you just like, ugh. And I'm gonna help you get out of that. I'm gonna help you realize or be aware of the shit that you do. So you know what, let's have a girl talk. Let me tell you the truth. Here are a few things that makes you unattractive as a woman. First things first, you have masculine traits. Now, what do I mean by masculine traits? What is the first thing that comes to your head when I say masculine traits? Leadership, making decisions, solving things. Don't do that. You are a woman. You're supposed to be soft. You're supposed to be at peace. You're supposed to, you're not supposed to be leading anything. You're supposed to be following the lead. I'm not saying be a dog or something like that and follow the lead. What I'm saying is you don't always have to make the decisions. You don't always have to solve the issues. That's why we have men in our lives. Okay, but of course there are certain things that only women can decide, only women can solve these issues. Feminine issues, of course, you can deal with that on your own. But if you have a man or if you have any male figure around you, you do not have to be solving any kind of issue. You don't have to be making decisions for the two of you. You don't have to be doing all of those things. When there's a man around, you're supposed to be laid back and chilling. But I'm not talking about these basic things, just these basic things. I'm talking about everything else that are very masculine, that screams masculine energy. You should not be having too much of masculine traits in you if you want to be a feminine woman, if you want to be a high-value woman. And trust me, to most eyes, especially high-value men, when you have these masculine traits, it makes you very unattractive. Number two, you're always shouting and nagging and complaining. Let me tell you something about shouting. As a woman, you should not be shouting at all. You should not be raising your tone. You should not be wasting your energy on raising your tone or your voice or trying to get your point across. As a woman, the minute you open your mouth, heads should turn. Your voice should be heard. And you don't have to scream to do that. Trust me, when you are always shouting around for the tiniest things, you lose yourself. You lose value. When you are always shouting, it's the same thing. Let me give you guys a good example. When your mom is always shouting at you, it becomes a normal thing in the house. But the minute your dad shouts at you, you know you're dead. You're gone. Because your dad doesn't always shout. He doesn't always say something. But the minute he says something, you know you have to take it seriously. Why? Because you're not used to him, being so strict or just shouting around. But your mom, on the other hand, she's always shouting. It's a normal thing in the house. Don't be that person. You should never shout. You should never have to raise your voice to win an argument. You don't have to raise your tone to change something around you. And when you're nagging, when you're always complaining about things, whether it's your food, the room temperature, the way your hair looks, your body, instead of making a change, it is annoying. As a woman, you should be able to handle things on your own most of the time when it comes to things that you can handle, not things that a man should handle. So cut the nagging, cut shouting. I have seen this so much in relationships where women are just screaming like, oh my goodness, why didn't you put the toilet seat down? Oh my goodness, la, la, la. Always shouting, always cussing, always complaining about something. Oh my goodness, you're not proposing. Don't do that. Don't do that. You are a woman. You are the prize here. All right? People are supposed to be listening to you. You should not be yelling to be heard. And when it comes to cussing, listen, I know you're fully capable of cussing like a pirate, all right? You're able to cuss like a fisherman, but doesn't mean you have to. Now, it's completely normal to cuss if you're around your friends. That's okay. I cuss too. I cuss with you guys because I know majority of you guys are girls and I see you guys as my friends. But when I'm on a date, when I'm with my man, when I'm with a male figure, or I'm with my friends whose boyfriends are around and my boyfriend's also around, I do not cuss. We don't cuss. It's something that is between the girls. We don't talk about sexual things. There are things we talk about when people are around, and there are things that we talk about when it's just us females. So Cut the shouting, cut the nagging, and cut the cussing. Number 3, you're always seeking validation. Listen, as a high-value woman, you do not need anyone's validation. You do not need to ask anyone, oh my goodness, am I skinny enough for you? Am I beautiful enough for you? Are my eyes pretty? Nah, You don't have to do any of those things. You do not need to seek validation, because a high-value woman, a feminine woman, a woman who has embraced her femininity does not need anyone's freaking opinion. You do not need anyone's opinion on what you wear, how you speak, what you do. Of course, you can ask for an opinion like, hey, do you think this dress looks good on me? What do you think? Should I buy it? But you do not need to ask him things like, oh my goodness, do you think my ass is big enough for you? Do you think like I'm good enough for you? Trust me, men know when you're asking for an opinion and when you're seeking for validation. Even though they act like they don't know, they try to play it dumb, but men know. Trust me. And everyone around you knows. If you want to be a high-value woman, a confident woman, you want to be that magnetic woman, you need to stop seeking validation from others. You need to heal that thing. Probably because your parents didn't give you enough validation when you were a kid, but that is a different topic. So figure that thing on your own, but stop asking for validation. Stop seeking for validation, because that is a trait that is super unattractive. Do you know how many times I've been in a circle, we've gone out, and like girls are just judging each other, asking the guys, oh my goodness, who has the prettiest dress? Whose hair looks the nicest? Like, why does it matter? Girls don't compete with girls. We're girls. We don't care who looks better, as long as we all look good. You don't need a man to give us their opinions on us on who looks the best. Don't seek for validation. It's one of the most unattractive traits in a woman. A woman knows her place. She knows she's beautiful in her own way. She knows she's strong in her own way. She knows she's brave on her own way. She does not need anyone else's opinions. Number 4, trying too hard. I know people think it's like a cool thing, like when you try too hard and blah, blah. No, it's very obvious. When you try too hard, it is so freaking obvious. Trust me, not even girls would want to be around you when you're trying too hard. You can't try too hard to be hard to get. Especially when girls try hard to get, like, you know, like you're trying to act like you're like Princess of Wales or something like that. Like, don't do that. You need to be humble. It's okay to be confident, but you need to know when to be humble. Don't try too hard to be that girl. Just be that girl naturally. Do it your own way. Everyone is different. When you are trying to copy somebody else, it doesn't work for you, because you have your own personality, you have your own characteristics. That person has their own characteristics and personalities. You can't copy people. That's why you need to be your own person. You can't try hard like in a cringy way. Trust me, even though you think like people don't notice, we notice when you're trying too hard. We notice when you're trying to be someone you're not. And it is a very unattractive trait. The last one is being jealous. Being jealous of your partner's ex-boyfriend. Sorry, ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, who knows in this time and age. Being jealous of other girls, comparing yourself to other people. Why would you do that? Like I mentioned previously in this video, you are a high-value woman. You are confident in who you are. You know who you are. You are strong in your own beautiful way. You love yourself. Of course, we all have our flaws, we all have our insecurities, but does that change the fact that I love myself and I'm confident? No. You do not have to compare yourself to other people. Now, I understand comparing can happen, especially when it comes to comparing yourself to your partner's ex-girlfriend or your ex-partner's new girlfriend, or comparing yourself to girls on the internet. It is something that happens naturally. I understand. It is something that happens to most of us, but we have to try our best not to show our jealousy. We have to try our best not to envy other people or to be jealous of what other people have, because we are beautiful in our own ways. And especially when you show that jealousy, like, I would never understand why anyone would compare themselves to someone of other person's past. Like, if I had a partner and if he asked me, do I look hotter than your ex, I would be like, oh my goodness, why is this even a topic? Like, why are we talking about my ex? Like, it shows insecurity, it shows jealousy. Don't do that. No matter how pretty that girl is, it doesn't matter, because you're beautiful in your own way. You don't just bring looks into the table. Even when it comes to friendships, looks isn't what you bring to the table. You bring your personality, the other things that you bring to the table. Don't always focus on looks and other things. Trust me, being jealous is not a thing. You should not be jealous of other people. But if you are jealous of other people, unfortunately, and you can't get rid of it, at least don't show it. Don't just be like, okay, I'm jealous, and act upon it. If you're jealous of someone, just keep it low-key, like, okay, you know, whatever, but don't show it, because it doesn't look good. And try to fix the whole jealousy thing in the first place. These were a few things that makes a woman very unattractive. If you feel like you disagree with what I said in the video, please do let me know in the comment section down below. But if you feel like you agree, or you have any other things that you would like to mention, other things that make a woman unattractive, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to read them, and I'm pretty sure everyone else who's reading the comment section will also be glad to hear them. So yeah, anyways, that was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, that is it for this video now. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.